Okay, so this prophetic word is going to be suddenly part 2. Hey, and where we last left off at is we're talking about we are talking about a slave girl has been following around Paul and his men, and they were on their way to the place of prayer. Now this slave girl, she is practicing divination. So she's following Paul and his men around, and she's consistently keeps saying, and she's telling of how Paul and his men are servants of the Most High God, who proclaim to you the way of salvation. But she's repeatedly just following, like everywhere they go, she just following them around, saying the same thing. It's becoming repetitive. So Paul becomes greatly annoyed. He turns around and says to the spirit, I command you in the name of Jesus to come out of her. Hey, and it came out that very hour. So Paul in turn casts the spirit out of the slave girl. Now, we talked about how the girl was a slave. So she had owners, and her owners were making money off of her fortune telling. Her fortune telling. Hey, so when Paul casts this spirit out of her, their hope of money, that they was making money off of her fortune telling. So when he casts the spirit out of her, that spirit out of her, their money is gone. Like the hope of money is gone. She can no longer fortune tell because that spirit got casted out of her. So they lost, they lost all their money. So in turn, we were talking about how their hope of gain was gone. So her owners, they seized Paul and Silas and dragged them into the marketplace before the rulers. So they dragged Paul and Silas before the rulers, to tell of what they've been doing in the city. It says in Acts chapter 16, verse 20, and when they had brought them to the magistrates, they said, these men are Jews, and they are disturbing our city. So we can see here that Paul and Silas, because they casted the spirit out of the slave girl, they are being accused of disturbing our city. They go on to say, it says in Acts chapter 16, verse 20, and when they had brought them to the magistrates, they said, these men are Jews, and they are disturbing our city. They advocate customs that are not lawful for us as Romans to accept or practice. Pause. So in short, the owners are speaking of how Paul and Silas advocate customs that are not lawful for Romans to accept or practice. So they saying we don't practice, we don't do these things and we don't practice these things. And yet these men that came here in our city, disturbing our city, advocating these customs, these practices. These are not the practices that we do as Romans. So that's what that means. So it says in Acts chapter 16, verse 21, they advocate customs that are not lawful for us as Romans to accept or practice. It says the crowd joined in attacking them. Pause. So first, it was just the owners, taking Paul and Silas to the rulers. But now we're getting that a crowd is joining in to attack Paul and Silas. Acts chapter 16, verse 22. The crowd joined in attacking them, and the magistrates tore the garments off them and gave orders to beat them with rods. So not only are Paul and Silas being attacked, but they're being beaten. The crowd joined in attacking them, and the magistrates tore the garments off them and gave orders to beat them with rods. And when they had afflicted many blows upon them, they threw them into prison, ordering the jailer to keep them safely. Having received this order, he put them into the inner prison and fastened their feet in the stocks. Pause. So now Paul and Silas